All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So let me put some hand lotion on real quick. So I was debating whether or not I was gonna make a video about this because I didn't want to bring up negativity or put myself in like a negative mindset. But one of my subscribers that I'm also subscribed to basically made like a really good video talking about this, and she also mentioned um, some of my videos in it, because basically she was just talking about how, like, as a content creator or YouTuber, and you make videos and share your content online, especially when you're someone who is sharing like your real life, you're sharing your ups, your downs, your struggles, the things that you're dealing with, how so many people can be so harsh and judgmental and rude on their comments. And basically she was reiterating something I had said before, like, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. Like, it's it's always going to be better to be kind to someone. You never know what someone's going through. You never know the full picture. I'm not someone who gets on YouTube, watches someone's channel, and just thinks, let me berate this person. Let me tear them down. Let me tell them everything they're doing wrong. Let me tell them, they're not good enough and they should be doing this and they should be doing this. And, they're just not doing things the right way, right? Like, and those are some of the comments. I won't say majority, but I've received those comments a couple of times on um honestly multiple videos. And so I everything she said in the video, which I'm going to link it down below, and her channel, y'all check her out and subscribe. She's very sweet. She's left nothing but like encouraging, positive, uplifting comments on my channel, which I appreciate. I feel like this was what I was going to say. I feel like I almost had to develop the attitude of not listening to the comments in order to protect myself from like the negative things people say. And so, I guess to like I have to protect myself and my mental health. And it's like the constantly reading such negative things that random people will say about you, or judge you about your life or your character. That affects people. And as much as I try not to let those things affect me, they can at times, which is why I made the video. Like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, because I'm not in the best space. Like, I'm already, if I'm already dealing with so much in my personal life, I don't want to have to also get on my YouTube channel and read like hate comments, or just people being just nasty and unkind and mean and rude. And one of the other things she said in the video that is so true, how people will be like, I'm not trying to be rude, and then immediately say something rude. And to me, that is like a Freudian slip, as they say. That person's aware they're being rude. Otherwise, they wouldn't say, I'm not trying to be rude. Just like when people are like, I'm not trying to be mean, and then say something they know is mean. It's like you're aware that you're being mean, you're aware that you're being rude, and you're saying it anyways, because you wouldn't have to make that warning if you weren't actually being rude, or if you weren't actually being mean. And it's just like, people are aware when they're being rude and mean. That's why I'm just like, there's really like no reason anyone, honestly, in my opinion, and I personally have a hard time understanding that mindset of those people, other than they're maybe just miserable in their personal lives, because misery loves company. When you don't feel great about yourself, you seek to tear other people down. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is why some people feel the need to tear other people down. Either they're jealous, or they're projecting, or they're angry at something that that person has, and they just want to tear that person down. And that's just not my heart. That's not the type of person I am. I would always seek to uplift people. And you know what's crazy? Even when I made that video, my first video saying like it doesn't cost anything to be kind, someone literally left a comment being like, who are you to say that when you do X, Y, and Z? Like, you don't have the right to say because you're not a nice person, basically, is what they were trying to tell me. Because when I was driving, I would have like bits of road. I'm laughing because it's just like, I understand it. And road rage, I'm not saying like road rage is okay, but I just feel like it's not even a comparable thing. Like, me being upset that someone is not driving the best and calling them an idiot, which, first and foremost, it's not nice to call people idiots. But at the same time, I'm not, that person doesn't hear what I'm saying. That person doesn't know what I'm saying. I'm not attacking that person on their personal life or character, other than didn't like their driving, or they cut me off or something. It's like very minor things. And she basically tried to assert that because I sometimes had road rage, I didn't get to say that people shouldn't be mean in my comments on my videos about my life. um which was kind of annoying. So anyways, it's just like, they're real people with real feelings, and I feel like anyone who puts any aspect of their life out there on the internet, unfortunately, it's like, yes, there are going to be people who are rude, nasty, mean, who have nothing but mean things to say to you. And I wish it would get easier, and I feel like in some ways it does. Like, literally, when that person who made like that video just bashing me on their channel, that didn't actually bother me or hurt me at all. And I feel like the reason certain things do and certain things don't is just like, I don't know, depends on the area that I'm more sensitive around, um or what they're literally, I guess, bashing me for. But at the end of the day, it's just like, there's no reason to be rude, mean, nasty, hurtful to people on the internet, to get on YouTube and comment hateful things on someone's video. There's really no reason for anyone to do that. And that's the reason why I've limited comments on most of my videos. So basically, I wanted to respond though to two comments in particular that I just want to show, like, want y'all to hear some of the things I have to read. Um because instead of just turning off comments completely, I will just hold all the comments and then approve each one, because I want people who are not being rude to still be able to comment, but I also want to weed out the negative things that people try to say. So let's go to the comments I wanted to address or just respond to, because I feel like I want to defend myself, and maybe it's just like I don't need to defend myself against a stranger's comment on my life, but I also think it's more for me to like just clarify, especially when it's like an assumption. And I feel like it's almost more hurtful when someone will leave like a very rude comment and then it has like multiple likes on it. Like multiple people liking the hate comment is almost like 10 times worse. So at least with me holding them, I don't have to deal with, the multiple people seeing like a rude comment get like more likes than the nice ones. Okay. I'm not gonna include the. I might include screenshots, but it's really just like I don't want to really have to give it time. Okay, so this comment was on my video where I said there's nothing wrong with living with parents as an adult. And this person said, there is so much of this that are absolutely wild takes, all of which are whole conversations because your views are so off. I bet that's why there are no comments on this video when you normally have a few by now. These are huge conversations, and your views are so wrong and self centered. It's like you don't even care how your choices affect your parents, and listening to you talk about how paying rent is a scam because there are better options, yet you're squandering a golden situation is mind blowing. You see no actual value for being independent and self sufficient at your age. You talk like you're a child still. You're so soft on yourself because you have supportive parents who are in good situation in their own life despite having to help you so heavily. You seem entitled, not appreciative of, or like you're using the help wisely to grow yourself into a better situation. It really feels like you believe you're not doing anything wrong being so soft. Like she keeps calling me soft. It's one thing to need the help and use it wisely, but you out yourself weekly on how you squander constantly. I've been watching you for months, and you aren't in a better position until you got your mom involved in your savings, unable to handle it yourself. Not trying to belittle there, just saying. It's like, why even say you're not trying to belittle and you're aware that if everything you're saying is belittling me? Anyways, just saying you give yourself pats on the back that you haven't actually earned yourself. It's just soft and needy, and you don't seem to think you actually need to improve because you have supports you can use. So, oh well, just use them. It's easier than learning the skill yourself. Then she goes into like a personal thing about what she did in her thing, which good for her. Then she says it's like you're trying to cheat your way there, thinking it'll be sunshine and roses once you get there, but without learning these skills yourself, you won't be able to hold on to it. People don't judge because they're jealous of your blessing. People judge because you're using these blessings to stay forever soft. Basically, this girl said a whole lot of, made a whole lot of assumptions. One, assuming my personal goals. Like, I've never claimed I wanted to live with my parents forever. My goal has always been to be independent, stand on my own 2 feet. I know I can't depend on my parents forever. And that's not even an option for me. That's like why it's almost laughable, because I don't have parents who are like, oh, you always will have a place to stay with us. Like, that's not either one of my parents, to be quite honest. They've never been like, oh, you're always going to be welcome or always have a place at my house. Both of my parents are very, like, they put a lot of pressure on me, like, to be independent and stand on my own 2 feet. So that's definitely just not even a true assessment of anything I've actually said. And also the fact that you've only been watching my channel for months, in my opinion, shows that this person does not know most of my situation, because I started didn't move back in with my dad until about 2 years ago, and at the beginning of 2022. So I've lived with my dad since 2022 essentially, and that was like on and off because between all of that I was working in Atlanta, and then I moved back, and then it's just been like there's been so much. But anyways, this claim that I'm just this soft person. And I feel like the thing is, the reason I started giving myself grace is because I was always being so harsh on myself and like tearing myself down. And so it's not that I don't think I need to improve in lots of areas. Like, that's literally what I've been sharing on my channel, is the things that I'm struggling with, the areas I'm trying to improve. And it's just like, it sometimes feels like I'm never going to be able to live up to other people's expectations, and that's why I'm not trying to. Like, people will constantly get on my page and be like, you should be at this stage by at your age, you should be this, you should be this. Like, people constantly trying to tell me where I'm supposed to be in life and what I should have, and why don't you do this and why aren't you doing that. It's overwhelming, it's annoying, because it really is just like, I'm sorry I didn't live up to expectations you think I should be at. Like, I failed to meet my own expectations in life, like, let alone having other people tell me I should have been there. And that's why I give myself grace, because, like that person said in her video, um, you never know what someone's been through in their life to just like jump on someone's page and just like belittle them and put them down and assume so much about their personal interest or character and things like that. Um, so I can't even address everything she said, but basically, it was just a lot of assumptions she was making about my situation. And anyways, in the actual video, I literally said, if your parents are willing to let you stay, like, you should use that time wisely. I'm not saying that I did or didn't use my time wisely. Like, I feel like I take accountability of so much that I've done wrong. It's like, y'all just want me to take credit for like my like everything that goes wrong in my life. I guess I'm just responsible for every single time. Like, I take an accountability for my bad spending. I've talked about how I struggle with a shopping addiction, how I'm trying to improve in that area and put myself on budgets and do XYZ, and it's still not good enough. Like, I just have to realize I'm never going to be able to please other people. So that's why I'm like, I can't live my life trying to make other people think I'm doing enough. Like, I can't live my life trying to make other people satisfied with my life. Like, I'm doing the best that I can in my situation, my best for myself, for my life, um which is all you really can do. It's just like, I also think too, um like, I feel like I get so many comments saying I'm entitled, and I find that really annoying, because I've never said I'm entitled to stay with my parents. I do appreciate my dad for letting me stay with him for as long. I appreciate my mom for being willing to help me save. And those are things like those are both things that I feel like are blessings, cuz you not everyone's parents would maybe be wanting to do those things. Um And I think with the whole me living with my dad's situation kind of happened twice for not great reasons. And I'm just not even going to get into it, because there's a whole backstory that. My dad's alarm is going off again. Another really annoying thing that's been happening is this house alarm. I don't know how to fix it, and it just will go off at random times throughout the day. Like, I don't know what. I don't know how to turn it off. I try to, and it just doesn't. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I think it's just like, for me, I can't allow, like, I can't live my I'm not going to cater my life to the expectations other people are putting on me. Like, oh, you're supposed to be this in life, you should have this in life, you should have XYZ. I'm working on myself, I'm working on my problems. That's more than some people are doing. But really, it's just like, I can't focus on what other people's opinions of me and allow them to, make me feel less of. And it's just like I said, comments like this where they're pretending to be helpful but really just belittling and bashing, calling me entitled, calling me soft. Like, I don't even understand what she means when she's like, you're like so soft. I don't really understand that. Like, am I supposed to strive to live a hard life? I don't think anyone would strive to live a hard life. Like, and I also wouldn't say my life is soft. I'm in lots of debt. I don't have a stable living situation. I think if anything, people watching my videos are like learning from my mistakes. Like, make better financial choices. don't um don't be wasteful with your money and spend all your money on things that you don't need. Like, I don't really think I display this, other than I guess people see my hauls, which my hauls are typically a result of like shopping, or are, I don't even know. And it, like, the haul videos, I feel like people who haven't watched my channel from the beginning don't realize how little shopping hauls I've actually been doing. Like, my shopping hauls have decreased significantly. Like I said, people don't understand your improvement when they're just seeing the now. So it's, again, I know I've improved so much in a lot of areas. Do I still need to improve more in other places? Yes, of course. Like, there's always going to be room for me to grow and learn. But like I said, Rome's not built in a day. I don't expect myself to just become this perfect human being overnight. I don't strive to be a perfect person, because at the end of the day, we're all flawed. We all struggle differently. Like, everyone struggles in different ways. Like, I might struggle with spending and struggle with saving, but other people struggle in other ways. It's just like everyone has their own problems. You can't sit here and nitpick someone for a problem just because you don't happen to have the same issue. And it's just like, it's easy for people to judge someone for a problem that they don't have. But like I said, the people who understand where I'm coming from, getting myself into thousands of dollars of debts because of a shopping addiction is wild. Is it smart? No. And that's a consequence I'm living with. I have to figure out how I'm going to pay off all of this debt. I also have to figure out where I'm going to live and all of these other things. So it's just like, I don't think I I really don't think I'm living this ultra soft life. I think it's like, if it comes off that way to other people, I'm not sure why. I have moments where I'm just, I think like the amount of stress I would be under could allow myself to be under, which, and at times it does get to me when I really think about it. But I just have to trust like everything's gonna work out, and trust God through helping me to overcome a lot of these things and face a lot of the major problems I have in my life. So it's like, I don't think I make things look easy in my life. I feel like I'm constantly talking about being stressed, having anxiety, having like all of these financial problems that are not fun. Like, when my car breaks down or things happen, not knowing how I'm going to pay for certain things, because I think really it's like my parents aren't giving me money. Like, I pay for everything myself. I'm not paying rent. I wasn't, or I should say, the only thing I'm not paying that other adults pay is rent. I pay my car insurance, phone bill, like all of my other bills. I also think people just assume I've never paid rent before, which is also not true. I've paid tons of bills in my life. I'm 29. I've lived quite a few apartments in my life. Don't assume you know everything about my life. I think that's all I'm gonna say to that one. This next one was in response to the truth about my living situation, and this is how I know. I don't even know if I want to read this one because it's so nasty. It's actually so nasty. Like, I'm reading it, just looking at it, and I'm like, I don't even think I want to give this give this comment space on my channel because of how rude it is. But she basically called me a squatter. She said I was a burden to my dad. that my dad needs to kick me out and do all of this stuff. I'm just like, y'all realize my dad is still kicking me out. Like, I like, that's the situation I'm already in. Like, what are people talking about? My dad literally is kicking me out. I'm really confused why they're like, your dad's not doing something that he is doing. Um, she said, I don't present myself as someone who's employable. And she also told me I am a burden. Basically had nothing but nasty negative. And then the first part of her comment was, I say this with sincerely all of the kindness in my heart. Girl, everything you said was nasty, rude, and just nothing kind. No type of kindness at all. Like, people really will say anything. And I feel like, I don't know, like, I don't even know if this person is a real channel, a real subscriber to my channel. Maybe they're just someone who just watched one video and decided to make all of this stuff. But it's just like, how miserable do you have to be to say stuff like that to a stranger you don't even know? Like, calling someone a burden, calling someone unemployable, calling someone, like, just all of the nasty things she said in her comment. And it's just, reading stuff like that is very hurtful, honestly. And I have to remind myself, like, I shouldn't value opinions of other people, but I'm still human. And it's like, reading stuff like that is so just, it's so, it's honestly, like, disgusting at times. Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like, I can just read things and ignore it and allow it to not hurt me at times. Like, I wish I could, and I'm trying to get to that place. And I feel like future me maybe will be mature enough to just ignore the hate altogether, which, like I said, I typically will just delete stuff like that. But I wanted to share some of them because it's just, like I said, it's really frustrating having um people say such, like, rude things about your life. And like the girl in her video said, she's like, there are certain things she's not going to share, she's not going to show because of some of the contents that she's gotten in the past. And I feel like that's almost the point I'm getting to. Like, I really don't even want to make videos about certain topics anymore because of comments like this that I get that are just extremely belittling, extremely rude, and just, they have nothing but negative, hurtful things to say to people. So yeah, it does get to me sometimes, even when I'm trying not to allow it. And I feel like that's why I like try to build myself up and tell myself, not that I'm like perfect or something, because at the end of the day, like, I still am accountable for my choices, my decisions that I made that got me in this situation. I'm not blaming my dad for this, for everything, because at the end of the day, I wasn't always going to I knew I wasn't always going to be able to live with my dad. I think it's more so just how it was going. Like, I always thought, like, oh, like, I would at least have my own place. Or I don't know. It's just like, I just didn't imagine it happening like this. Like, that's just like the sucky truth. Things don't always work out the way you want them to. That's okay. You live, you learn, you grow, you keep moving on. And even if the solution is not the solution that you were hoping for, you can't look at it like it's like I said, I'm not, I understand where my dad's coming from. I understand his needs and his focus. Like, I'm not saying my dad did anything wrong other than I just think he's what am I trying to say? I think that it's just wasn't ideal for me, in the sense that, I wasn't really prepared in a lot of ways, and I feel like I still am not, but it's just like I don't really have control over what other people do, and I just have to make the best of the options available to me. So everything happens for a reason, though. I feel like I definitely know going into the new year and everything else, I have to get more focused on a lot of my goals, like paying off debt, rebuilding my savings, a lot of other things. Um, and yeah, I think I'll make another video possibly about it, because I don't know. I also feel like lately I haven't really been wanting to film or post anything on YouTube. I've been just not wanting to put myself online for a lot of different reasons. I'm I don't know. I don't want to really get into it. I just feel like I can't mention anything like about my dad or my living situation anymore, and I'm probably just not going to talk about it anymore. Um, you know, I feel like people forget, like, two things can be true. It can be true that I'm not happy about the way things are working, but still understand that my dad has his own life and has his own focuses and his own goals. Like, it's just like people make it seem like it's always just like, oh, well, you're just being like this and you're just being like that. And, like, by the way, y'all don't even know my dad. Like, y'all don't know my dad at all. Y'all just jump to conclusions and jump to assumptions and jump to, I don't know, random things. But at the end of the day, it's still at in a lot of ways, just, it is what it is. I'm have to honestly, I just have to let go of any type of notion I had of certain things, and I feel like I did in a lot of ways. Like, it's not like I'm not expecting anything from my dad. I don't really want anything from him at this point. I think, I don't have the expectation of either of my parents helping me. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here like, oh, my one of my parents is going to come in and do this for me, or someone is just going to jump in and do that. Like, I don't expect really anything from either of my parents, and I feel like that's the best way to honestly look at it. Like, I don't go through my life thinking, oh, I'm always going to have my parents there to fall back on, because not that's really not the case for me in a lot of situations. Like, and I think I'm way more self-sufficient than people realize. Like, whenever I have car issues and things like that, I've always handled them mostly on my own, other than um I mean, like, the initial situation. Like, I've been stranded in my car for 6 hours waiting for someone to get towed. I've had to call Ubers to, like, drop my car off to get it fixed. Like, it's just like there's a lot of things that I'm able to do on my own. I think, like I said, people see a few clips of my life and just assume they know everything about me as a person. I'm very self sufficient in a lot of ways. I've done my own taxes since I was 17. Like, y'all really don't know a lot of what y'all are talking about. At least people like that who jump to assumptions and conclusions. All right, that's all I have to say. Bye.